I'm Tom Johnson, Thomas Johnson, Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. This is a nice 18th century tea table. It's all mahogany. It was damaged by water when a pipe burst in a person's home. So the top is very damaged, lots of water stains, lots of places where the damage is gone, chipped away. Some of this banding is raised up. I might need to glue that down. And also the top is a little bit loose, and I noticed that the top has shrunk and all these glue blocks have pulled away, so I'll need to redo those blocks. And then I will basically just refinish this top. I think I can clean up and re-wax the base. Okay, so now I'm going to strip the top. I've taped off the base. I'm just going to use regular varnish remover. I'll put a coat on, scrape it down. Probably put a second coat on and scrub it with steel wool, and then wash it with TSP, and then wash it again, final wash, with a little bit of oxalic acid. For the final rinse, I like using a little oxalic acid in the water in case the stripper has turned the mahogany dark, which sometimes happens. And this looks beautiful. It's interesting, you can see though that this whole side of the tabletop has new banding on it. It looks like the original banding was figured mahogany and someone used straight grain mahogany to repair that in the past. So now I'm just sanding with 150. When I'm satisfied with the 150, I'll sand with 220. Okay, I'm all done sanding with 220. And now I will apply my first coat of tung oil as a sealer. And then tomorrow when it's dry, I will do my touch-ups. I have numerous nail holes that were original to the top that are filled, and a lot of repairs, and this entire banding along the side. I'll stain those after I seal it. Okay, I've let that first coat dry actually for a couple days. Now I'm going to sand with 220 gold, and then I'm going to do touch-ups. I'm going to touch up all the nail holes and also touch up this banding and patches that are all from a previous restoration. Alright, I've let all my stain on my touch-ups dry, and now I'll put on the second coat of tung oil. So now I've got two coats on this top. I've got good build here, it looks really well, my touch-ups look good. So now I'm going to sand with 320, and then I'll brush on what I hope is my final coat. Now I'll wipe it off with a rag dampened with a little paint thinner. Now I'm going to use one of my best brushes and put on what I'm pretty sure will be the final coat. This third and final coat actually looks really good, but if you look closely or at an angle, you can still see brush marks. So what I'm going to do is sand it with 500 paper and then use dry steel wool to bring up the sheen. Here you can see lots of shiny spots and dull spots from my sanding, but the steel wool will take care of those shiny marks, and as I'm rubbing with steel wool, as I see those disappear, I know that I'm getting to where I want to be. The more you sand, the easier it is to rub out with the steel wool, but I didn't want to sand too much. I don't have a lot of finish on here, 3 coats of tung oil. I don't want to go through. I'd rather take the time to rub it out with the steel wool and have a thinner finish. Okay, the top looks really good now. I see no more of the little shiny marks, and it looks nice and even. So now I'll remove the paper from the base and wax the top and the base, the entire table, with the oil and beeswax polish. Alright, there we go. Really nice 18th century tea table. If you remember, it had a lot of water damage. The top was all messed up and it had come loose, but we glued the banding along the edge where it needed it. I stripped and refinished the top with tung oil and wax, and then cleaned the base with my beeswax oil. And I think it looks pretty good.